So he calls you.
Yeah.
You say to yourself, okay, I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
You acknowledge it. You acknowledge the pattern. The pattern is to run away.
Mm-hmm.
The pattern is to avoid.
Yeah.
The pattern is to distance.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm not doing that this time.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wait, Let's Talk About That, a podcast where real people work through real moments, live and anonymous. I'm Dr. Lee Long.
And I'm Lila Pond. Today, we're welcoming back a guest that you've heard from before. And the last time she was here, she'd found real success using the wait method in her relationship. So, of course, we had to ask, what happens after the breakthrough?
Right, because progress isn't the finish line. Sometimes the very patterns we think that we've handled are still quietly running the show underneath the good breakthrough.
That's the thing about the wait method. Where am I in this? It doesn't stop working once things are going well. That's often when it actually gets to work the deepest, and you'll hear that throughout this session.
You know, our guest is staying anonymous because honest stuff usually is.
Mm-hmm.
And today, the honesty is about the patterns that we're still steering even after the win.
So before you mistake a good stretch for the whole story, let's talk about that.
Just as a reminder, this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's not therapy and doesn't create a counselor-client relationship. Do you confirm?
Yes.
Awesome. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So last you were on, just in case somebody didn't hear your first episode,
Yeah.
we worked through how you show up in your own story and how you treat yourself as it comes to relationships, specifically with men. Is
Yeah.
that a fair overview?
Absolutely.
Anything you would add to that?
It's so intertwined with all the other areas of my life. I remember mentioning like how you do one thing is how you do everything, and discovering that how I behave in relationships and noticing how I behave in other areas of my life. And yeah, as a whole, it was definitely how I behave in relationship. So it's really interesting to listen back, that's for sure.
Yeah, so what was your take on hearing that back and going through that, I would say?
Yeah. I've listened to it a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So at different like areas in the last couple of months in my life. In the last episode, I spoke about how I was, sort of dating somebody. After we recorded that episode, what was it, like end of January or something like that?
It's been a while.
Yeah. Him and I parted. And I essentially ran away.
Mm.
It was kind of like that come down from the trip, from the podcast episode, and discovering all of those things, the contraction from the opening, right?
Okay.
And
Will you say more about that, the contraction from the opening?
in my years of healing and working with a very close mentor of mine in addiction counseling and everything like that, you know as well as I do the science of the oxytocin and the connection with addiction and all of that great stuff. If anybody is going through that, I highly recommend that they research that and look into that. But there's a contraction when you open so much and discover so much, or you're on that really beautiful healing high and there's like a come down, which is so interesting to me. And when it first started happening to me in healing, the crash was so hard that I was like, why do I keep doing this? Why am I going to keep going through with all of this stuff when I keep going back?
Go through with all of what stuff?
Like going through the work.
Yeah.
The work of healing. Why do I keep trying to put in all of this to be a better person when I keep crashing down and becoming really depressed, or just contemplating all of my decisions again and pushing everyone away and isolating? What's
interesting is what you're describing. And when you say oxytocin, for people who don't know, it's a neurochemical, right? It's the bonding hormone. And when you think about that expanding and contracting, I look at it from a place of, if you draw it on a graph, it goes up. And then we have a refractory period of certain things where when something goes up, it has to equally go down. And so it is, if we are surfing through experiences, it's knowing where you are in the high, so to speak, and then knowing where you are in the low, so to speak. And that's how the body seeks homeostasis.
Yeah.
We think if it goes up, it comes down, then that's all it's going to do.
Yeah.
But when it goes up, it has to equally and oppositely go down.
Yeah.
And that's what you're describing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also what I have learned is that the lows get less and less because of the recovery time. Because once you're aware of what's happening, you can kind of stop the pattern in its tracks and come right back up.
So when I hear you say that, what I hear is that instead of making meaning that this is scary and bad, you recognize this is part of the process. It's like when you work out, you are fired up, you're lifting heavy weight,
Yeah.
and then you know what comes after that is you're going to be tired.
Yeah.
And the meaning that you make of that fatigue is, yeah, that was a really killer workout. Instead of, oh my gosh, I've just hurt my body. It's bad. This is bad. I thought working out was supposed to give you energy. It does. And it's not just while you're fired up lifting the heavy
And
weights.
you do see that in beginners. I definitely see that in my career with beginners. You know, they're like, why am I so sore? Why am I hurting so bad? I thought this was supposed to help. And I'm like, well, it does. But you're going to go on that wave. So yeah, I've definitely learned that within healing. And going back to where we started, like I did that after the podcast. After we recorded, I went home and it was like maybe a week. And also I was at the end of my cycle, like those emotions are at the highest of high. And it wasn't a, hey, can we talk? It was a, I don't want to do this anymore. And it was cut off. And I spent 3 months thinking about him every single day and going through the motions and looking at my life and everything else. And then I had texted you because there are no coincidences, I believe. The day that the episode debuted and aired, I received a message from him asking, hey, can we reconnect? So it was just really interesting. And so him and I reconnected, had a really incredible connection conversation about what happened.
How'd you describe that, if you don't mind me asking?
Describe
What happened?
with him.
To him.
To him. There was a lot of anger because what initially had happened is I had texted him and said, I don't want to do this anymore. I thought he would have reciprocated. And I think inner child-wise was looking for that, a fight for me, you know, because that's a childhood wound of mine. And it was like, okay, you're incredible and amazing. And if you don't want to do this, okay, that's it. And that was that.
So
I was mad at him for doing that.
Yeah. So he didn't fall into your pattern because, you know, we have the question, the learning where we are, which is our start line. That's not all the work.
Yeah.
Learning where you are is the beginning of the work. And in that beginning, what we start to see, what illuminates for us if we continue to seek, where am I in this moment?
Yeah.
We see that we have these roadblocks that keep us from being where we want to be. And one of them is a pattern loop. And we just loop in that pattern. And he didn't play into the pattern.
He never does.
He never does. There's current in that. Go ahead.
There is current.
Okay.
We are now like together. We say that's my boyfriend. That's my girlfriend. And I'm terrified. And it's actually been really hard the last couple weeks. And what I have found, because I use EFT tapping, that's one of my main tools that I use to work through things for myself. What I discovered is that, there's skin in the game now. Our Vegas analogy, you know, like every month that goes by, there's more money on the table. You know, the 3-month cycle, it always for some reason comes in 3 months. The three.
which is another pattern to watch. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going into the third, and I'm starting to get scared.
And where do you find yourself in that fear?
Not wanting to lose it all.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I lose it all, what will happen?
Current 36-year-old me knows that, hey, it's going to be fine. It'll suck because I really care about him, but we're going to be fine. Other younger parts of me are terrified. I don't want to go through what happened in my last relationship because not only did it feel like I was going to die, there was contemplation. Like it was at that edge, like rock bottom.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And I never want to go back to that.
Yeah.
And I keep finding myself replaying that. It's like a PTSD moment.
Right.
Because it was so bad.
And in that moment, that was so hard, so bad that you think, I just want out of here. Mm-hmm. And to be clear, like you weren't planning anything.
No.
It was more of a passive, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that, where were you in that?
Oh, I was so lost in the dark.
Okay.
I couldn't see anything.
Okay. And so that pattern is, so I run away. I run toward
familiarity.
Okay.
Which at the time was chaotic family household, which I know how to deal with that. I can deal with that.
Okay.
I know how to do that at the time. Currently, it's very different. Side note, I went back home last month and I was like, I can't wait to get out of here.
Why? Because where did you find yourself there? Because basically what you're describing is that when I lost what I really loved or thought I loved, but what I loved at the time, I should probably say, it was so gut-wrenching that it felt like I needed to run back to the familiar. Mm-hmm. That's where I'll find comfort.
Yeah. It's what my body knew. It's what my nervous system knew.
Right.
Comfort.
And the comfort came through chaos.
Mm-hmm.
But then you did the work of finding you, not the environment, and you go back and recognize, wait, this chaos is not helpful to who I know I am.
Yeah. I'm not that person anymore. I am no longer that person anymore. And that great old thing in the healing spaces, you think you're healed until you go hang out with your family.
Right. Because we revert back to all of our patterns.
Yeah.
Right. It's like this magnetic, energetic pull to go assume, quote unquote, your place until you discover you in your place and decide if this is where I would like to stay. Which is why discovering those patterns are so powerful.
Absolutely.
So it's pattern loops. It's an illusion of control, or what I call the control illusion, or mind reading, which is where we think we know what everybody else thinks because we're going to stay safe in our own fantasy world where we are having the conversation with them in our head, but we're not giving space to that conversation in reality. And the last, which I would say really encapsulates everything, is I don't know me. I've never slowed down to take the time to understand me. I don't know my original language.
Yeah.
And I need to discover that. And so you're saying like this pattern got illuminated for you, which that pattern was to pull away because that's how you controlled or thought you controlled the environment.
Yeah.
Fair?
Fair. And I would add into their like future projecting.
Say more.
I am someone that can kind of see if somebody makes a statement of, like, oh, you should move here, da, 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 da. I'm like, I can build this entire life around a vision, right? And I do that a lot. And it's great for my career because it keeps me moving forward, right? But in relationship, I will future vision and future project either in the negative or the positive. And when you do it in the negative, you're making a prediction about something that hasn't even happened yet. So then it keeps you back here and keeps you scared of not moving forward.
It's a form of avoidance. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't do that. Well, I already know what's going to happen.
Right. So you
don't.
No, none of us do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can
You
predict.
can guess
Yeah.
and ask God for what you want, but you don't know exactly how it's going to happen.
So he texts you right as the podcast
I
comes
heard
on.
from him that morning, and then I heard from you like mid-morning.
Wow.
And when your text came in that it debuted, I started laughing. I was like, of course. And I listened to it that night, and it was like my past self giving advice to my current self in that moment. And it's like, he is now connecting. And if you want this, you can take what you've learned through our podcast session and move forward. And so I saw it definitely as that, okay, we're just going to exercise this muscle. We don't know where this is going, if it's going to keep going or if it's just for the moment. We're going to exercise that muscle. And that's okay. That's okay. Because guess what? We're okay. We're fine. We don't have that chaotic life like we used to, being codependent on a boyfriend and hoping that he saves us from this life.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was my previous relationship. He lived in another state, and anytime chaos at home, I'm calling him and I'm like, can you fly me out because I can't be here anymore? And
So there's that pattern of avoidance.
Yeah.
Running away from.
And the savior of somebody, right?
Mm-hmm. So
it was definitely reminding those younger parts of myself, we're okay. We don't need that savior anymore. We're not in that victim mentality. We can very well take care of ourselves. And also, I have so many support systems now that I can lean on in case I do feel like it gets too bad.
Mm-hmm.
I have those systems in place. I have those mentors in place for that exact reason. You're okay.
So to connect, and to explain what you mean by younger selves and you're describing what we call parts work, right?
Yes.
And in parts
like
work,
family
internal,
systems,
internal family systems is one. I think he does a great job of explaining that work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's understanding that those influences, those patterns keep showing up in how we dealt with something at a certain age.
Yeah.
And until we can identify it, till we can find ourselves in it, and understand that that's how I did it when I was 15 or when I was 12 or when I was 20.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And do I still want to handle it that same way?
Exactly. I see it as, for myself, it's like a big conference room table. And I'll ask sometimes if I know that something is coming up and I'm like, this isn't my current self. And I'll literally sit, close my eyes, tune into the body and picture myself at that table. And I'm like, who's talking right now? Because it's not current me. Who is this? And a lot of the times, a younger part of myself from the past will kind of speak up, and I can see that. So yeah, I see it as like a big conference table and all these different versions of me, and current self is at the head.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because again, what are you asking? Where am I?
Yeah.
In this moment?
Yeah.
And again, it's not a global statement. It's not where am I in life? It's where am I as it relates to this moment, this situation. So he calls you.
Yeah.
You say to yourself, okay, I'm scared. You acknowledge it. You acknowledge the pattern. The pattern is to run away. The pattern is to avoid.
Yeah.
The pattern is to distance.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm not doing that this time.
Yeah. That current self, like I was angry, but then also so happy that we could reconnect because, like I had said, I spent 3 months every single day being like, damn, I really jacked that up. Again, I messed that up. And I had talked about that in the previous episode. I'm scared because I'm going to ruin it like I did the last time. And then that worthiness piece came in and everything like that, which, by the way, was such a great section to listen to again. So yeah, we had a really great conversation. And
yeah, because one of the things that hit me when we were talking last is you had head knowledge of your worth, but it was the demonstration to yourself of that worth.
Yes, because I listened to it last night, so it was kind of fresh. I remember the part about those two parts of me clashing. My knowledge of my self-worth and how I feel about myself, which is great and high, with my previous partner's image of me or what I thought he thinks of me.
Right.
That's not what I know.
Right. Which is the mind reading, right?
Yes.
Is I'm thinking for you.
Yes. Yes.
And what am I concluding?
Yes. Based off of his behavior, which is not my issue at all. That's whatever he has going on in his life.
Right.
Within himself.
Right.
And those two things were clashing and colliding. So that was such an interesting part to re-listen to.
Yeah.
And while I was listening to it, there were some parts of the episode that I would start tearing up again because all I wanted to do, I was like, oh, you sweet girl, like wanting to protect myself. Like, I'm so sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah.
And like that motherly instinct coming out. And I'm just like, oh man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry you feel like that.
Yeah. What a beautiful example of self-compassion.
Yes. Yes. The fantastic thing that I have also realized within listening to the episode last night was that I no longer have a visceral reaction when I think about my previous partner. It was just a previous part of my life. Before we had that conversation, it was still there. And it bothered me that it was still there. I'm like, oh my gosh, 4 years? Are you kidding me? Come on already.
But who were you focused on?
I still had that voice of him in my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's so fascinating is like if you get a splinter in your foot. I remember one of my kids stepped on a rose bush branch and a thorn broke off in their foot.
Oof.
And they didn't say anything to us because they were like, I didn't want you to dig it out. It was going to be too painful.
Yeah.
Until finally one day, the body pushed it out.
Mm-hmm.
When this kid of mine comes to me and says, hey, Dad, can you help with this? I looked at it and I was like, that's like a sore. What is that?
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of pushed around on it and out comes the thorn.
Wow.
But how often do we absorb something from someone else and think, oh no, it's going to be too painful?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to deal with this.
Right. But then what we see is that we let them basically leave us, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And we recognize that wasn't part of me.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a lot easier than we thought it was.
And what you're saying is that once you found where you showed up in the situation, you were able to let this sounds, well, I don't know how it sounds, but you let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel like when people say let it go, it sounds harsh.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in that way at all.
As you know, I'm a massage therapist. It's kind of like a release.
Yes.
And that's a big thing in the industry right now is like somatic therapy. And all somatic means is of the body.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big book in the industry. I don't know if you've read The Body Keeps the Score.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of my favorites. But it does. It gets stuck in the body. And if you don't move that through, whichever way is helpful for you,
Right.
like you said, it gets stuck.
And the key in my mind is if somebody was telling me, a friend was telling me not long ago, my fingers hurt.
Mm.
I was just curious, and these things always intrigued me.
Yes.
And so I was helping him trace it. What we figured out was it was in his elbow.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious if it was in his neck.
Mm.
He goes and gets an x-ray of his elbow because he had had an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out there was a piece of bone, a fragment of a bone that was just floating around in there and
Yeah.
had stayed on a nerve. And so if he were to only work on his fingers,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't have solved the problem.
Surface level.
Which is why it's so important to discover where you are first, to
Yeah.
then have your start line. It was his fingers.
Yeah.
That was the start line. But what needed to be dealt with was the elbow. And so your start line was, where am I when I run away?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to control everything outside of me.
Yeah.
But once you came back into you and discovered where you are, it starts illuminating these patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So now these patterns are showing up and you're saying no more.
Mm-hmm.
He calls you or texts you, reach out to you,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, oh my God.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
sassy McSasserson.
Mm-hmm.
I was really mad. And he's like, oh, okay. And then we left it for like the whole entire day. And then I called him the next morning. And poor thing, He answers the phone and he's like, hello. Scared. Like, why did you do that? Why did you contact me? Because again, the avoidance. I'm like, I was dealing with this on my own. Why are you contacting me? Why are you opening this wound again?
Which the subject of every sentence is.
Where am I in?
Well, but it's where are you? Why you? Why did you?
Yeah, why did you?
Why did you?
Yeah.
Why did you? Which is all outside of you, right?
Yeah.
And the conversation keeps going.
Yeah. So he works nights, and so he's like, well, can I call you back? I need to take a shower and do all this stuff. So then we FaceTimed and had a very long conversation. And what we found out, or what I discovered, because I noticed it, is that he was just as scared as I was. In his mind, he was also protecting me. He's like, so I let it be. And there were a couple of text messages within that breakup, but I never heard back. So because I never heard back, I'm like, okay, here we go again. Just the same thing.
Isn't it interesting? Y'all are both making up stories about the other. I'm protecting her, but in reality, that behavior wasn't protective at all.
Yeah.
You think you're protecting you and likely him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't protective at all.
Yeah.
So you all finally put the reality on the table instead of the fantasy in the back of your mind. You have this conversation. You find this out that he's scared.
Yeah. And I can't remember the details, but it was a very long, in-depth conversation, just like everything out on the table. The one thing that sticks out in my mind is I remember telling him, you cannot make that choice for me. And I also cannot make that choice for him.
No, but that's a very beautiful...
The mirror, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't make that choice for me. You didn't ask me. You didn't talk to me. I also didn't talk to him. So...
Finding both of us in the scenario here.
But that's what would always happen in my previous relationship. The relationship would never progress forward, or he would push me away and keep me out versus talking to me. And he was always making the choice for me. There's a difference between leading in a relationship as a masculine and just not discussing anything at all and making all the decisions. That's not fair. I'm in this too.
Correct.
Right? We had that conversation and we put boundaries and rules in place. One of our rules is always completely, brutally honest, no matter what.
Can I push there a little bit?
Absolutely.
Brutality?
That's probably not the best word.
Well, but I want you to really consider that, because sometimes honesty can come across, or being brutal or harsh. Well, I was just being honest. No, I wasn't considering you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's part of it, because once we find ourselves in things and we stop mind reading, we acknowledge our patterns and we stop trying to control things, we begin to understand who we are, like how we move through the world, then we have to consider and learn somebody else.
Yes. That was a part of what we talked about in the last episode. Language.
Yeah.
And when I say like, brutal honesty and stuff like that, him and I are not like that. We actually speak very well to each other.
I believe that.
We're super kind to each other.
I believe that.
But yeah, we put that rule in place. If we're going to do this, it has to be complete honesty. And I'm the one that said it. And I think I said it more for myself than I did for like, we need this.
Good.
It was for me.
Good.
And a reminder to me. And we had a moment a couple weeks after that. We were on the phone and he had said something. I can't remember what we were talking about, but it upset me. And I immediately shut down. And this man is so receptive. Like, he is not oblivious to anything at all and picks up everything about me and around, right? Which is also new to me. So I can't hide because he can pick up on it. Whereas before, you're oblivious. I can do whatever I want. And you're not going to pick up on it. You're just going to be like, oh, I don't know why she's acting weird. I'm just going to go over here and do my thing. Versus asking me like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah, so you're really seen in the relationship. Wow.
Very seen. which, oh my gosh, I want to be so seen in a relationship. No, you really don't sometimes, because when it happens.
Yeah, you have to be careful what you ask for, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Or you have to be aware that what you're asking for has different consequences, which aren't bad.
It's not bad, but it's new.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable.
Sure.
So I had shut down, and he's like, what's going on? Nothing. I'm going to go to sleep. And he's, no, you never get off the phone like that. What's wrong? Nothing. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Good night. And got off the phone, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, he didn't push me. He's not falling into my pattern.
Right.
It wasn't but 30 seconds because I remembered our rule. And I call back, and he goes, that was a fast sleep.
I like this guy.
Yeah. And I go, I broke the rule. He's all, you broke the rule. So what's going on? Told him. We talked about it. Conversation. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I didn't realize that it came across that way. I remember that part. We were just talking. I didn't realize how it would affect you. And so I'm really sorry. Okay, this is why I feel that way, and that's why I behave that way, and da-da-da-da. And that was the conversation, and we moved on and had our normal night.
Would you say you learned something about him that night?
That he can handle me? Remember, that was the big topic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you learn something about you that night?
That I can be open and honest, and I should be, no matter who it is. Because if whoever I am being open and honest with, if I care enough to be.
Definitely worthy to be open and honest with yourself, but keep going.
Yeah. That if it's received in a negative manner, it's like, okay, that's not for me then, because that's just who I am. But that I can definitely do that in a relationship and be well received, be seen, be heard, and ultimately be loved within that. Because him and I might not be in love with each other, but we love each other.
Right. The thing that's so impactful in what you're describing from my perspective is when you got off the phone, you were focused on him.
The first time?
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't push. He didn't pursue.
Yeah.
He's not trying to fix.
Yeah. He's
And then-
not fighting with me.
Right. And then who did you
So
come
you don't care.
Right. Which is all about who?
To him, it's external.
Right. And so there's that pattern, right? That pattern of externalizing. But you came back where?
To myself.
And immediately said what?
I broke the rule. I did this.
Therefore, what'd you do?
I fixed it.
You picked up the phone.
Yeah. I picked up the phone.
And because you knew it was safe, or because you believed it would be safe, because I don't want to set anybody up, especially not you, to believe that I need to be honest with everyone. I don't know that that's true. There's times when we wear a parka
Yeah.
because that's the safest thing to wear. You don't go out in a t-shirt in, 10 below weather.
Yeah.
It's not safe. Does that mean the t-shirt is bad and wrong? No. The conditions aren't safe for the t-shirt, but you don't go out in a parka when it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
The conditions aren't safe for the parka in that. Or they're not conducive. I mean, safety is questionable. But
As you're saying that, an instant, oh, I used to be really open and honest intentionally, like brutally intentionally, because I wanted everyone to be safe, because I was never in a safe environment. So if I tell you all of this, if I'm completely open and honest with you about everything, you'll somehow, oh, she's a little fragile. I got to keep her safe.
And where were you putting your care?
In other people's hands.
Right.
Yeah,
And then disappointed when they didn't know how to read the instructions.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And when it comes back to you, it's like, yeah, I know how to care for me. The thing that I loved too, that you guys parsed out, was that it doesn't sound like he went to, oh, I'm bad, but that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. There wasn't a defensiveness to his part. It was he either intrinsically understands this or he fully understands There is an intent to conversation, and then there's an impact.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like you guys parsed that out beautifully.
Yeah.
He says,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was never my intention to hurt you, but I can own that that was the impact.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry that I impacted you that way.
Yeah.
And you could then see, he's owning the impact. And I can also see and give him grace or credit or however you want to articulate that for the fact that his intention was not to hurt me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Then you're learning more about him.
Which is incredibly attractive.
What do you mean?
One, that I can be my full self, especially in those types of moments. But the comprehension on his end.
Yeah.
I'm extremely intelligent and I love to learn. And side note, I've had a conversation with a friend of basically always choosing somebody that's a lot less intelligent than myself so that I can feel a little bit more superior, right? But I am now at a point in my life where like he matches me, if not more sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's incredibly attractive because I can see eye to eye and still hold my own and hold my ground. You are you, I am me. And we
Yes.
can just flow through this. We can calibrate. That is also very scary. That's what's coming up in fear as well.
Tell me why.
Everything is so calm and so great that it's terrifying. Not necessarily in the when's the other shoe gonna drop, but like, this is too calm. Like, is it boring? Shouldn't there be more intense energy here? Based off of past experiences.
Right.
That's what feels normal.
But let me ask you this. Shouldn't there be more intense energy here? But what was it like when you had that conversation with him about, hey, that kind of hurt my feelings, or whatever the conversation was when you called back and said, hey, I broke the rule?
I guess that was intensity, like a magnetizing intensity, a healthy intensity.
It's a sustainable intensity.
Yeah.
Because not everything can be explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Because then where do you go from that bang?
Mm-hmm. The mirror effect of the drop, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the noticing within that right now.
Because even in that, you're learning how to receive intensity in a different manner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the look on your face when you were describing that, when you said that's so attractive, I was like, tell me more about that. Because your whole demeanor was telling a big story.
Yeah.
Right then and there, just in that's so attractive. 3.5 words.
Yeah.
And there's energy there. Sustainable energy.
Sustainable energy.
And I'm asking, did that...
I'm all about sustainability.
Right? Did that feel boring?
It didn't. And the thought just came up, we haven't had to have conversation like that lately. And I've been wanting to fight. So it's like I'm looking for some sort of intensity.
Okay.
Both of we both travel for work. So our schedule, we probably see each other only once a month, but we talk every day.
Yeah.
Unless I'm here. So that's another thing that we do. When I'm here, I'm focused on work, and we do what is like what we close the portal. I come here for work. I will talk to you when I'm done and when I get home, because then I don't feel like I have to. We had discussed in the last episode that like I will give up my entire life for somebody, right? And I'm used to that. And I was also not asked, but it was implied in my previous relationship. You always choose work over our relationship, or over me. You always choose work over me.
Yeah.
My career is my life, just like your career is your life. It's a part of who you are. Whereas he's like, I'm so excited. Go do amazing things. And so with us closing the portal when I get here, because I travel to Texas to work, but when I come here for my week of work, I don't feel like I have to constantly keep up with him or like, hey, what are you doing? Sorry, I wasn't able to check in, because my schedule while I'm here is all over the place. It's not routine like it is at home.
Right.
So our schedule is all over the place. And recently, like this last month, it's been really all over the place. So we've had connection. Like I said, we talk every day, but there haven't been moments of just true deep connection, I guess you would
Yeah.
say.
The word
So
that's
I'm looking to fight.
but the word coming in my mind is intimacy.
Yes.
And I'm
yes,
not
yes,
talking
yes.
about physical.
No.
What's interesting is to watch that pattern.
Mm.
And it's a light on your dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
We don't judge it. We don't criticize it. We notice it, and then we become curious about it. And in that curiosity, what you're saying is, I'm needing and missing intimacy. And when the fight light comes on, where am I in wanting to fight?
Yeah.
I'm wanting closeness.
Yeah.
Which isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
That what we choose is a push away.
Yeah. Especially when you've grown up in a chaotic household and that's all you've known most of your life. It's interesting because it feels like I've been going through this healing journey for like 10 years. In reality, it's only been about 3.5, which is very interesting to me because it feels like an absolute lifetime.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you grow up and have had most of your life be that chaos, the connection and the intimacy with whoever
Right.
is fighting.
Right.
Let me pick a fight about something, or everything, if you're not aware of it, everything is driving me nuts about you and I'm going to fight with you about something.
Because who are you focused on?
The external. Yeah.
When you come back into you,
Mm-hmm.
you see a pattern and you go, all I want to do is fight right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's my fighting light.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I've said that to him.
Mm-hmm.
When, again, he has picked up, I'm like, hey, are you okay? Because I'm just cranky.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like women, we act like children when we're very cranky. I'm like,
I didn't say that.
listen, I know that's true. I know I do.
Oh, that's funny.
But he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm really cranky. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then as the time went on and we were having our nightly phone call, I'm like, I want to fight with you, because I was getting really like short and snappy. And I'm like, I really want to fight with you right now. And he's like, yeah, well, I won't fight with you. So you're going to have to figure out what's going on.
What was that a call to?
Where am I in this?
There's a deep call to introspection.
Yeah.
Saying, I'm not going to do that. So you need to figure out you.
And he holds the space for me to do that, which is new to me also. And it's building really fantastic trust between us. Yeah.
And
that's new. I didn't realize that was happening.
There you go. And when you think about him holding space, which gives you trust, think about, is there an intensity to that?
There is.
And where does that intensity lie?
In my body, or it's more heart-centered? Yeah, it's more heart-centered.
Where does the
more loving?
Where does the intensity of the fight lie?
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Can I make an assumption?
Yes, please.
But I'm asking, so it's more of a hypothesis.
Yes.
I think it lies outside of you.
And
you're moving through chaos because you're ignoring you. I need to fight you. Why don't you do these things? So it gets so externalized that we don't know how to answer the question where it lies in us. Notice how quickly you could find it when you're saying that trust. Oh, it's in my heart. It's deep in my soul.
The biggest thing I always say, like, I love attention. Like, I need a lot of attention from my partner. Again, child. But you're not giving me enough attention.
And who's the subject of that sentence?
On the flip side of that, I hadn't been giving myself enough attention.
There it is.
I had been spending my days waiting for him to get off of work so that we can have a conversation. I had stopped doing my morning routine. I had stopped journaling. I journal every morning to get my thoughts out. I had stopped doing my meditations. I had stopped going on my walk because I was waiting for him. And once I realized that was happening, I'm like, I'm doing the same thing again. Oh my God. So then there are times too where I will mention to him, I need space. And he's like, okay. And there was one time where I didn't know what was happening internally and I needed to step away because I'm someone that can take on everybody. Like everybody's stuff just kind of flows through me, right?
Mhm.
And I get lost really quickly within
Yes.
myself.
Right.
It makes me laugh because he had made the comment and he's like, look, if you need 3 weeks, he's all, I may not like it, but that's what you need. Then just let me know. And it's fine. And I'm like, you're okay with that? Yeah. Call me when you're ready. So there's a lot of times where I will let him know I need today because I'm starting to lose myself here. I need today to come back. And just that beautiful wave of like back and forth.
Yes.
That ocean wave. Everything in nature does that. Expansion
Everything.
and contraction.
Everything down to the cellular level does that.
Absolutely. It's fascinating.
It is, and that's what interpersonal relationships do.
Yeah.
It is a pendulating movement that comes back and forth. And the key is we cannot lose ourselves.
Yeah.
We're far too valuable. And what you're seeing is your value.
Yeah.
And what I think I hear you saying is that I'm starting to recognize when I'm losing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do that, instead of making it about him, I bring it back to me. And when I'm looking for intensity, it's because I feel disconnected from you.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get that? Well, historically, I fought and thought that chaos felt connecting.
Mm-hmm.
But the chaos took me outside of me. So it was actually very disconnecting.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back into you, coming back to the place to where you know what you think, what you feel, what you experience, what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've lost my rhythm.
Yeah.
And if I am not me, then how can I bring it to you to where you can enjoy me being fully me?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this intensity, but it's a connection, not a rupture.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times I come back quicker than what I've asked for because I make it a point to make the time for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets refreshed quite quickly. And I'm like, okay, miss you now. Can we talk?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say that, and I'm glad you did. The time frame will begin to shorten.
Kind of like the recovery of addiction or the recovery from the expansion. It gets shorter and shorter. Same concept in my mind.
And when you've exercised a muscle, recovery tends to, your body knows what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you recover much more quickly than the first time.
Mm-hmm. That pathway is getting made.
That's right.
It's getting deeper.
That's right.
Yeah. There was a time that it happened the other way around. It's happened once where everything is just piling on. And I could kind of tell, and he was pulling away a little bit. And I said, hey, do you need space today? He goes, honestly, I do. And I think he was a little afraid to tell me that because I'm such a like,
Ask him.
attention. I want your attention.
Ask
and
him.
I asked.
Good.
Yeah. And he's like, actually, yeah, I do. You know, okay, that's fine. But then internally, I'm like, oh my God. I'm not going to talk to you for a couple of days. Like, what's going to happen? And because the fear, there was a lot of fear doing this again because the last time we did it, the pattern that happened, like we broke up.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't talked for a week because I'm in work portal. So there was fear coming into this. I'm like, oh man, what's going to happen when I talk to him tomorrow afternoon? But yeah, it's okay, hang on a second. Where are you?
Come on.
You're okay.
Come on. Next step is.
And having that conference meeting with all my parts. Like,
right.
You're okay.
Right. Next step is, now let's go discover where is he.
Mm.
And that's the beauty of the pendulum swing.
Mm-hmm.
I've found me. Now let's go find you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now let's really intentionally calibrate and move toward one another in a beautifully wonderful, I was going to say explosive, but it's just, it's intense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beauty of intimacy.
Yeah.
Of beautiful intimacy.
Yeah.
So I am so excited for what you've laid out here, because what you've shown us is that you've found you illuminated patterns. Those patterns are something that you're like, I don't want to live in these.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in that pattern, I cease to be me. And you're discovering your dashboard, like your language of what gets in the way.
Yeah.
And is it scary? Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's terrifying.
But it's also powerful and rewarding.
Absolutely.
I cannot thank you enough.
I do want to add something that's very important that you're going to be like, wow, that's incredible. I discovered that in all my years of wanting the love, I was always chasing the relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, you're someone that wants to date me? Cool. Not looking at that person, right? Chasing the relationship. I have noticed that I'm not chasing the relationship. I genuinely just want to be with this person because of the person. And that's huge for me. So
you just beautifully articulated. I found me. So I had the ability to see him.
Yeah.
And I want him.
Yeah.
Not the package of what I think this is going to do for me. I want him.
Yeah. I look at his qualities and ask myself all the time, and when I discover something new about him, do I love that or is that not for me? Does it take energy away from me or not?
There you go.
Yeah. So it's been really beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you for coming in.
Of course. Thank you so much for teaching me this strategy, I guess you would call it, this method, because I use it every day, to be quite honest.
I love that.
So it's incredible.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's our time for today. Thank you to our guests for coming back and for going deeper anonymously, but honestly.
And if something here landed, sit with the question that started us off. Where am I in this? Not just when things fall apart, when they get tough, but when things are going well and those old patterns are still quietly making the calls. That's where the real breakthrough lives.
This has been Wait. Let's talk about that with Dr. Lee Long
and Lila Pond. Take care of yourself. Take care of your people.
And we'll see you next time.